Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who wants to be a Toastmaster. This is my interview with one of our newer members of Calgary Pace Setters. I don't think it's going to be a year, right, Paul?
Yeah, it's coming up in a year in December 16th or so.
There you go. I am doing this to introduce our Calgary Pace Setters members to our audience, to the public, and just to promote what Toastmasters is all about. Paul is my first, and I called him a victim, doing this. So, Paul, how are you feeling?
Absolutely wonderful, and I'm glad to be here and to be helping as much as I can.
All right. My goal is to ask our members to see what their goals are in Toastmaster, maybe why they joined Toastmasters, what did they learn so far, and if they have any challenges. And I know one challenge for sure that Paul has, but we'll get to that at the end. So, Paul.
Yes.
Why did you join Toastmasters?
I joined Toastmasters for the experience of joining something in a group that would help me achieve the goal of being able to speak better, speak in an appropriate manner, to be able to challenge a few of my problems that I've had with epilepsy, seizure, and memory loss. But overall, it is to improve my ability to speak and to help myself as much as I possibly can with speaking in front of others.
There's something interesting about Paul. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Paul lives in Canmore, and our club, Calgary Pace Setters, is down southeast, like as far as you can go in Calgary. Why did you pick Calgary Pace Setters, and why is it that you don't mind driving from Canmore to meet in person with Calgary Pace Setters members?
I had a look at some different groups, and I love the intensity and the positivity of pace setters. The drive is irrelevant to me to try to get to a place which is the most informative, the most passion, and overall an understanding as to where people start, work, and finish their goal as being a Toastmaster member and achieving their goals overall.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
Paul is one of those members in our club that loves to do speeches. And we noticed Paul had a bit of a challenge doing his speeches online. Paul is a totally different speaker when he speaks in person in front of the audience. So tell us about your challenge online versus in person.
That's a big question for me, and I find being online for myself takes away a lot of the intimacy with the audience. I have a hard time reading people because I can't see people. And strangely enough, I tend to follow a script pattern more than I would like. So that seems sort of strange to say because a lot of stuff I do is kind of a little bit on the fly. So when I'm with technology, I still don't understand a thing about it. It drives people nuts, and I need an immense amount of help with it. And that's a challenge for me, and Toastmasters is helping as much as they can without getting annoyed.
That's one of the challenges I was talking about. Paul is challenged with technical stuff. Paul was a contestant in evaluation contest, right? He's our new Sergeant at Arms. So Paul is one of those members that like to challenge themselves and try new things. And he's not afraid to jump in with both feet and just do it. So, Paul, what is what did you learn so far being a Toastmaster, being a Calgary Pace Setter member? What have you learned?
Well, I've learned that I enjoy speaking even more than I thought I did. I have found that it's able to take, it might be a strange thought process, but it's be able to take thoughts and ideas that I have in my head and make them a reality. So that's very important to me with Toastmasters. There's ways in which you can obviously improve yourself with Toastmasters, and it's an understanding that you have with the group and with yourself overall.
Tell us something about you that we don't know as Calgary Pace Setter members. We like to introduce ourselves. and I know a few things, but I don't think other people do. Tell us something about you, about who you are, and I know that you are speaking for the Epilepsy Association. Tell us more about that.
Well, I have suffered from epilepsy in my life. It was a focally aware type of epilepsy, which involved not being able to speak, which was incredibly frustrating for me. I would zone out and not be able to speak for a little while. So my first speech, when it came to my icebreaker, was about my problem speaking and my association with epilepsy as a symptom of a seizure, a symptom of epilepsy. And I did send that to the Epilepsy Association, and they liked what they saw. And then after that, they then gave me an opportunity as time goes by to hopefully be able to promote and help the understanding of epilepsy through Toastmasters, getting some experience with it. Overall, it's a process for me to fulfill a goal to help those that need education in epilepsy. Toastmasters has been really important for that for me.
You are a member just about a year. Is there some message that you would like to send to somebody who has been a member just for a few months, or somebody who's been a member but hasn't challenged themselves? Is there some message that you would like to send them?
Well, I would like to say you've made the first step. You've come forward and made the first step by showing up at a meeting. And that's the most difficult thing to do. So you're there. So you should make the most of it, regardless of events that might seem challenging. The best thing for me is don't think about it, do it. Okay. And understand that we are there to support you. So just jump into the game and have fun with it. You can only learn by taking chances.
Now, how about a message for somebody who is looking to join and they're just on the brink of signing up? What would you give them as a message?
I'm reading a book right now on confidence, and it's the title, if I can put it forward, is How Confidence Matters. And it talks about having an idea in your mind. It's something you want to do, and it's a fantasy in some way. And it will continue to be a fantasy until you make it into a reality. So you have to step forward past that mentality where you're just thinking about it, but set a progress where you're going to set a goal and show up to our meetings. Not all of them all the time, but keep a consistent process of coming and try to learn. But take that idea that you have and make it a reality. And we'll try to make it work and work things out for you.
I want to know, what do you like about Calgary Pace Setters Club?
I like Calgary Pace Setters Club because it sets a wonderful tone for me. It works for me overall. And it also breathes out and gives you a little bit of understanding where eventually you can evolve to more of a, I hate to say it, but more of a challenge and competitive different roles. And that you're actually part of Pace Setters, which does very well in all of District 42 and is one of the respected groups. I mean, they all are, but we do pretty darn good. And that's one thing I like about Pace Setters, as much as I possibly can, is the level at the end to achieve my goals, which are pretty, hopefully going to be quite along the lines of being in a competitive nature and competing in some of these wonderful events in District 42.